Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Wow, all right. I see how it is. I guess you can get away with that on a night where the Avs win 7-1.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take anything seriously tonight.
Avs dominate the Vancouver Canucks tonight
Dr.
in
Dubs.
a straight-up rout. Dr. Dubs absolutely in the building for this one.
That's right.
This was it was a crushing from beginning to end, right? This game was never really close.
Anybody that watched our pregame show, first of all, thank you. Second of all, Hanson. Third of all,
this dude's just rolling now.
We were right. I mean, we got it right. We said that they needed to come out and have one of those first periods where they get out 3-0. They just dunk on a team and then they cruise. There wasn't so much the cruise part, but it definitely was the dunk part. That was a shit kicking.
They dunked, hung on the rim, and then the rim broke the backboard on this one. I think
this was the Shaq dunk where the whole thing
came crashing breaks, down.
Yeah, it comes down on his head, and he's just looking around like, "What did I do?"
So not a particularly close game, but honestly, a game that it felt like the Avs really needed.
Yeah, we talked all about how. After the last game, I said, I think they're emotionally fractured. They need something good to happen to them. This is great. They caught a bad team on a bad night and force-fed them goals. Great.
Yep.
This doesn't fix everything, but it also goes to show you, also mentioned in the pregame show, the defense needed to step up and drive a bunch of offense. Well, guess what?
They did.
The whole defensive lineup produced freaking points
Multi-point night from Girard. You get a goal from Taves. You get assist from Byram and Makar.
2 points from Girard, 2 points from Taves.
Yep.
You end up with 6 points from your defense. You're sitting pretty. When you lose a guy of Nathan McKinnon's caliber, you needed plays to come from somewhere. You needed guys to step up and make a difference. And look, it's one period of them actually being healthy and having the defense that they wanted.
Less than a full period.
Yeah, but the one thing that you say about the Vancouver Canucks is that offensively they are explosive. They've got a lot of talent.
They have talent for sure.
Yeah, they can definitely get out and globetrotter a bit on offense on you if you let them. And not only did the Avs just not let them, but I mean they just stomped on their face.
Halfway through the second period, the Avs have given up 4 shots on goal to this team.
Yeah, you're cruising.
Yep.
If you ever want to know what score effects look like,
this game is
whatever tonight's
fancy
fancy stat chart look like, great example of score effects.
Yep.
Because the Avs got up early and then they just kept building. And then it wasn't competitive. The second half of this game
was not at all, not remotely.
It was, can we get out of here without more injuries?
Yep.
And unfortunately, with the Byram thing that happened in the first period, they weren't able to accomplish that. We don't know what his status is. I can guarantee you Jared Bednar hasn't talked to the trainers and that there will not be a substantial update tonight. But everything else, I mean, my goodness.
But yeah, it was a night where really, genuinely everything came together on the offensive side of the puck for Colorado. And I think maybe most encouragingly is they dropped 6 goals on Thatcher Demko, a goalie who had been very hot to start this season.
He's played great. Played great. And, they roll out and they did what they had to do. Like, we talked about their finishing had not been great. I wasn't really expecting them to get right in the first game without Nathan McKinnon, but
but they did.
All right. They were due for maybe not like a game like this. I don't think anybody's ever due for this, but they were due for certainly an easier night, a 4 or 5 goal night where they just kind of they
didn't have to sweat it out.
Yeah, they threw it into cruise control. They got up early, they pounced on them, and then they rolled.
They did. Great point, Randy. The bounces absolutely went the Avs' way tonight too.
You look at one of the
Girard to LOC goal.
It takes a wild hop through a guy's legs, and he just slaps at it, and it goes in, and you're just like, dope.
Yep.
Like, and that there sometimes that stuff just happens for you.
Well, and it happens in a game where you're fucking dominating the other team.
Yeah, like we talk about you make your own luck, right? And You made that luck by just shelling Vancouver.
Yeah,
when you
absolutely.
have the puck the entire first period, you're just throwing pucks around and things, eventually stuff does happen.
Right. The puck's got to go in eventually, just by the laws of physics.
Yeah. Sure.
Sometimes it takes longer than others, but the Avs altogether put a great night of hockey together against a team that's not the best team in the league or anything special.
No.
But
they're not the worst team in the league, although they certainly look like it.
Tonight they did.
Well, let's
sure.
be real. They did not look like the Arizona Coyotes. They might have...
True.
They might have looked like another worst team in the league.
All right, but does anyone look like the one true Phil, though? I mean, he's in a league of his own.
No. Majestic beauty.
You can't handle it, all right? You go eat another hot dog before you can bless the face of Phil Kessel with your eyes.
I had a hot dog today. It was great.
Was it good?
It was great.
I didn't eat a hot dog today. I stuck with my wrap as usual. But
I didn't eat it here. It was.
I know.
I had for
but
lunch.
Yeah,
I was just feeling it. I was like, hot dog sounds good.
I Chef Boyardee's is my jam for lunch because I'm still a child.
Yo, respect, man. I just ran out of Lunchables. So
oh, my man. Let's go.
Yeah,
now we're talking.
No, that's how it goes. Oh, yeah. Here makes his own Lunchables. Oh, must be nice.
He's
to be
got
fancy
like
and shit.
saltines and like deli meat, I hope, Yahir.
It's actually turkey bacon and cheddar cheese.
Ooh, that's tasty, though. It's tasty, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to hear any of this nitpicking about, the Avs played not that well, but they played. It's 7-1, man.
I would take the Avs.
Bro, it's 7-1.
In the dark, you take the Avs playing like they did tonight every single night, and you don't think twice about it. They crushed special teams. They crushed 5-on-5.
Yeah. Well, and the big thing was that the effort was consistent. The forecheck was nasty. They were responsible defensively. They moved pucks well. The guys that had not looked like themselves were Sam Girard and Cale Makar. And guess
dudes
what?
Showed the fuck
they
up.
looked.
Yeah.
They looked like themselves. And what happens? It's not like it's a coincidence that when those guys look like the better versions of themselves, that the Avalanche walk out with dubs.
Yep.
That's what happens when those guys aren't playing well. Yeah, it's a lot harder to win games because those are your best fucking players.
And
so when they play well, yeah, you smoke a team, especially a bad team like Vancouver. Thatcher Demko's their best player.
And I think that's part of the reason they dunked on this team.
And his name's Thatcher.
But also, from the jump in this hockey game, Alex Newhook's first shift on the ice, and it's immediate. You see the go. You see the jump in this hockey team tonight, that they are just all over Vancouver at every opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, that line especially, we talked about it pregame. That line could be a lot of fun. It could also be a total disaster if it doesn't play well. And in the first period, it shredded.
Yeah, it straight up dominated.
Yeah, they whooped that ass. It was dope.
Newhook ends up getting a point on the first goal of the game for the Avs on
the second power play.
Yeah, on PP2.
A day after I talked mad shit about PP2,
baby. Let's go.
I told Rudo, I was like, I bet you PP2 doesn't score again for an entire month. And this happens the day after I trash talk it. Because that's just how the universe works. It knows.
It's how it goes sometimes.
It knows.
It actually just played right behind us here. A beautiful backhand pass from Newhook over to Kadri. Kadri can't finish, but creates a great rebound that Valnichushkin's his way to a goal.
Yo, he just drove the net and got like a freebie and just banged it home. There was no drama. There was no nuking it up.
I don't know.
It was pretty clear, man.
Sure, the goal went in clean, but he followed that goal heavily into the net.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, like Nuke got a nuke, but like he did not. Like we've seen that dude. We've seen that dude like flub. Like that's the kind of shot that we've seen him put over the net.
Sure, it's the way he scores that one is
wide,
it bounces off the pad into his cup, and you're like
he accidentally steps on it, and like goes flying into the net, and it just follows him in, and they're like, So he cut it in half with his skate. Does it still count, or
Dude,
like that's how he rolls?
I cashed in tonight, man.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
won
you made money.
I made money. I ended up making money. I only got 1 of 3 bets right because Miko wouldn't shoot the goddamn puck. But I made money.
But when you take the odds, you'd hit one
exactly,
and you're good. Yeah,
exactly. The one win paid for 2 losses easily.
Yep.
So no big deal.
Not bad at all. Look, the Avs took over this game. By the end of the first, they were up 3-0, and they never looked back, really. It was a pretty straightforward win for a hockey team that needed a straightforward win on the whole.
Yeah.
Let's get Darcy Kemper out of the way here, because the reality is he didn't really have to do very much tonight.
And the one goal against is total nonsense.
Yeah, it bounces off the post and redirects, and 3 different bounces happen, and it goes in the net, and it's like whatever.
This is just about the Brazil.
Yeah, definitely. It was the Brazil setup all the way. Look, that's great. Happy for Darcy to get an easy one. He certainly deserves one. He's held the Avs in a couple of games
especially
early.
after the last Columbus game, where like they made life difficult on him, and then did not reward him in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Like he deserved an easy night.
So he gets the job done.
It was great.
The Avs defense gets the job done, and frankly, the entire Avs lineup pretty much got the job done. They got a little bit of help here and there. Mikko's goal was a bit of a gift. You know, Byron made a nice poke check to help create the play, but essentially Vancouver.
A great play by Byram to follow his
is.
guy through the neutral zone like that, because a lot of defenders will just stop at center ice and be like, all right, I'll wait.
They can come to me, yeah.
Yeah, and he went up and he aggressively makes the play. It's what makes Byram as a defender different, because he aggressively denies either pucks or free possession, free entry into the zone. He just doesn't give you anything free. He doesn't just hand it to you. If you don't already have the puck, you don't already have space, you don't already have a step, he doesn't give anything to you. He takes it all the way. He forces mistakes. Man, it's what makes him so good. And seeing him translate that to the NHL has been really, really encouraging. Now, obviously, the injury really sucks, and we hope that it's not a concussion. We hope that it's not long-term. I'm hoping that it's just something like a broken jaw that he can play through, even though it'll probably be miserable, and he'll have to play in a bubble, and it'll suck, and
better than a concussion for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm hoping that he avoids a serious injury out of this.
Let's talk about this, because there are 3 plays to talk about when it comes to player safety in this game. First, you have the Byron play. It's an elbow by Horvat that goes entirely uncalled.
Should have been a penalty.
I agree. It at 100% at minimum, it's a 2-minute minor.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it's more than that.
You're comfortable with a 2-minute minor?
2-minute minor, I think, would have been fine.
Okay. So you have that play, and then you have the Jack Johnson boarding.
That's boarding.
Which was blatant boarding.
That's a technical foul.
Yeah, okay, Adam, calm down. Clear boarding, I was perfectly fine with that being a 2-minute minor. Had no problem with it. And then you have the play near the end of the game where I forget who it was that essentially just turned around and swung their stick at Jason Megna's, or was Kiefer Sherwood's head.
Yeah, Tucker Pullman just turned around and bopped him.
He gets a game for it. He gets a match penalty for it.
Just don't rescind it.
Yeah, just hold the game. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let him sit a game. I think that's easy enough. He's got the match penalty. You just there you go. Let him sit on it.
Well, and that's one that you look at Horvats and you go, well, you can't really prove intent with that one, right?
Yeah.
You look at the Pullman one and you go, yeah, that dude did that on purpose to a certain extent.
The biggest thing for me when we're starting to talk about player safety and discipline and stuff like that, one of the big things that I've really started to split off into is hockey plays and non-hockey plays.
Sure.
Like the Horvat one, look, he's fighting for position.
He's getting a position for the puck, sure.
I don't like, and you and I were talking about it when it happened, where I said, I don't think it was intentional, but I don't think it was unintentional.
Yeah.
I think he meant to throw the elbow up there because he's making himself big and he's making himself hard to defend.
He's trying to win the position.
I don't think he's necessarily elbowing him in the face on purpose. So I'm saying, like, I don't think that's why I don't think that's a suspension. 2 minutes is what I'm comfortable with there. Like, that's a hockey play. That's a play that happens in the context of the game, and it's more bad luck, I think, for Byram than it is anything else. You look at what Johnson did, that's stupid, and it's dangerous. It was penalized. That's boarding. That's why the penalty exists.
But he's physically engaging with a guy trying to get the puck loose.
Right, exactly.
Like,
they're playing hockey. It's a stupid decision, but they're playing hockey. The Pullman thing...
There's no hockey play there. Yeah.
He's just mad, and he's using his stick as a weapon because it's in his hand.
Yep.
So I think that with Pullman, that's why I think, look, he was assessed a match penalty. It came late in a game that they had already lost. There's no punishment there.
Yep.
You don't give a shit about giving
up sit for the rest of that game means nothing.
Oh, except for the last 8 minutes of the third period of a game that was 6-1
means nothing.
Really coming down on a guy there. So just I think in that case, yeah, you let if it happens 5 minutes into the first period, that's essentially a suspension anyway.
Yep.
He essentially misses
that's a whole game, basically.
Whole game. Yeah. In the last couple minutes of the third period, no. He's got to be suspended for a game, and especially because there's nothing hockey related about it. He just straight up uses his stick as a weapon.
Yep.
We've seen that go to actual real life court.
Yep.
Not George Parrow's court.
Over assault charges.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he weaponized that thing. Yep. So, and like it's one thing when Nico weaponizes a stick to score dope goals, but it's another when you literally weaponize it and use it to hit another guy in the head. So I think a game would be perfectly
reasonable.
Yeah, I think that would be totally fine with me.
All right. I'm perfectly okay with that. Unfortunately, the Department of Player Safety, or maybe fortunately, the Department of Player Safety is not something you can gamble on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Oh my God, I'd lose so much money.
I can't imagine the odds on that are much better than like a roulette wheel, to be honest with you, because...
Or Gaelic hurling.
Oh, God.
I was looking at Gaelic hurling odds the other day. 3 different Gaelic hurling teams at 50,000.
Whoosh, whoosh.
I was like, dude, I'll just throw $1 on all of these.
Right? Maybe
all of them
lucky.
had $1,000 odds except for the one team that was a favorite. And I was like, oh, this must be like the 98 Bulls.
So they're going to win.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No doubt about it. But hit up DraftKings Sportsbook right now. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account. Bet $1 on any football team, NFL football team, to score a point this week. And you get $100 in free bets if they do score a point. Jump on it. You can use the $100 on whatever you want. You can bet on Gaelic hurling. You can bet on hockey. You can bet on basketball, whatever you're feeling. It's a great way to get yourself in and have a little bit of fun with essentially free money. So check out DraftKings Sportsbook today. Again, be sure to use that DNVR code. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. DraftKings is an official betting partner of the NFL. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And, of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Once you've made a ton of money through DraftKings Sportsbook, be sure to hit up Hassel Cattle Company and get yourself the meats. You can get yourself whatever you need, whether it be the Wagyu beef burger, the tomahawk steaks, the sirloins, the bone-in ribeyes. They got you covered. Look, if it were up to me, I'd eat steak for Thanksgiving and not turkey, because steak is delicious and turkey's fine. It's fine. It's not steak. Let me put it to you that way. You can get 15% right now off for the holidays. They got a special deal going on when you use code DNVR15 at HassleCattleCompany.com and submit your order. So go get that extra percentage off. And if you want to do a family order or a group order, you got a bunch of people coming over for Thanksgiving or the holidays, if you order $200 or more worth of meat, you get free shipping as well. So jump on it. Get over there, get some Hassel Cattle Company meat. AJ's finding the deets over here. What you got?
Go ahead, finish your thing.
All right. Look, the only other thing I got to say is come on down to the DNVR bar for Avs games. We got the watch party vibe going on. Hung out and chatted with a number of people today at the bar. Hope they enjoyed it as much as I did. We're vibing out here, enjoying the time. You can't win 7-1 every game for the Avs, but when you win 7-1, the bar is jumping. That's how I'm going to put it. Moving on to the second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast with whatever AJ's hyping on over here.
So basically, you'll be shocked.
No, boy. Okay.
Bowen Byram will be reevaluated tomorrow.
No, shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. Yeah.
What I really liked, though, was that Travis Green said, if you don't know, Canucks head coach Travis Green. said they look like a team that's trying to figure out their game and trying to win a Stanley Cup. We look like a team that's a half step behind. We had a lot of guys that weren't very good tonight. Also, Bo Horvat said that they had rolled over and that they should be embarrassed.
They should be.
So, dope.
You lose 7-1. That's embarrassing.
It's great when
the other team is saying that
come
stuff.
from the other hall,
yeah,
and not your locker room.
No, not as many bad vibes. We got a couple of super chats here that we can get to. Thank you very much, chat. $5 from Craig. Thank you. How the hell was the Horvat elbow missed? Did those refs happen to be circuit court judges from Kenosha? All right, I'm not going to touch that one.
Yeah, we'll stay out of the second half of that, although I will also say, wow, has that been interesting?
It's been an adventure.
But the first half of that, yeah, I would also say
that's a 2-minute minor every single time.
I would add though that where the two refs are on that play, the one at center ice probably doesn't see it very clearly.
Yep.
The other guy probably sees what I saw, which was a hockey play, and didn't see it live that it was a penalty because I didn't see it live.
You see
the standard here.
To be fair,
I'm not the one getting paid to judge right and wrong.
The last handful of Avs games, the cameramanning has been interesting.
Well, the poor guy in Columbus was his first day on the job, and he might have had a stroke halfway through, which is why you saw the camera going the way that it was. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Next. Thank you for the $5. Sean Quinn Hughes. He was invisible tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I put that in an article when they were in the middle of the Calder race, and I got multiple comments being mean to me about it, so I stopped saying it.
Well, should have stuck to your guns.
I got bullied by my own community.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat. This is your fault. Next, we have Cody giving $20. It's very generous of you. Thank you. 20 in memory of Evans Puppo. Yeah, R.A.P. Evans Doggo.
Definitely.
You will be missed.
All love there.
Everett, hope you're doing well, bud. Nighthawk saying, if you're planning to use your stick as a weapon, make sure it's clean and pristine with Manscaped. I don't even have to do reads anymore. The chat does them for me now, man.
You want to know? Pavlov will be so proud. Because we have conditioned our whole audience to convert everything into a Manscaped
It's
read.
great. It's wonderful.
Everything.
And I mean, look, y'all saw the thumbnail for the show tonight, right? All right. So this is nonstop Nut November now. All right.
Yeah.
We're well beyond No Nut November at this point.
Yeah, we're like 12 days in.
Yeah, right. Done. We're moving on to 7-1 hockey games.
Yeah, sorry, that Burakovsky goal ended that thing.
True.
The backhand goal, yeah, that ended that.
True. All right. Getting back into tonight's game.
Like an owl. All those zeros and those giant zeros. Call him Quinn Hughes.
Woo.
Exactly, see?
We got it. We're on top of it.
Little bitch owl.
Top of the pile tonight. We got our king of the game, which for the first game this year, maybe we had a number of options for, really.
Yeah, we weren't 100% sure who to go with, so we just went with the highest scoring guy at the end.
It's just the way to do it. We're taking the moose on this one. We're going Big Mikko. The 1 goal, the 2 assists, the 3 points helped the Avs to the Brazil.
Got the 1-2-3 gap.
Yeah, 1-2-3 gap, baby.
Mikko's gap tonight was 1-2-3.
The easiest gap in the book, right there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's too true. Easy peasy.
What's like? I'm trying to think what the biggest gaps in the league are. I know like Gagne had an 8-point night. That was like a 2-6-8 or something like that.
Oh, dude, that was such a weird guy to have an 8-point night where you look back and you're like, 8 points, Sam Gagne.
And you're like, oh, that was 25% of his points that entire year in that one hockey game. Okay.
Like an 8-point month is good for a guy like that.
Yeah. So definitely a little out of the blue, but local Moose in great mood, can confirm. Yep. Moose got loose absolutely against Vancouver and Colorado tonight. So GAP 1-2-3. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
A little Jackson 5 action going on there. I like the references tonight.
Yeah.
We're kind of balling out. But Mikko, look, post hindsight is 2020. Maybe they didn't really need him to ball out tonight as things played out. But
Yeah.
another guy that
when you get a casual 3-point night, you didn't really need it from him.
Yeah, it's a good night.
Yeah, you've been solid.
But it's another night that it feels like a get-right game.
Yeah, well, the third goal, I think, was really important because Colorado had been able to get these 2-goal leads. You know, we saw they had very, 2-0, 2-1 leads. But to get that 3-goal
they don't hold
lead,
on
that
to
really,
super well.
That
Yeah.
really breaks a team in the NHL because, like, those teams, they know what's up.
Yeah.
And when you talk about a bad club like the Canucks, like, especially a team like that, a team that's really struggling out of the gate, a team that's under a lot of pressure to win, all kinds of things, right? Like they are in the pressure cooker right now because they have high expectations. Spent to the cap, traded picks away, went hard for guys like Connor Garland and OEL because you definitely want to use Arizona as your farm system.
Yeah.
Like they went big and kind of tapped themselves out in a lot of ways for this roster. So there's a lot of pressure on them to get them down 3-0 early on. Like you break them.
Just took them out of the game entirely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you get them 3-0 and then you survive that last 90 seconds where they started to get their legs a little bit. And you get out of there, it's still 3-0. There's nothing for them to build on. They go into the room and they're like, we're getting crushed. We feel bad about ourselves. What do we do now? And what we do now is we feel sorry for ourselves and keep getting fucking crushed.
And that was... They're feeling down already. You come out in the fourth period, the Avs get the fourth goal, and the game is done.
Yeah.
It was probably done at 3-0, but the fourth goal just completely shatters
Yeah,
them.
I mean, that ends games.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the third goal is a dagger in most games, but the fourth goal is like,
pack it in time. Yeah.
this is why you score 4.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
exactly right.
This just is how it's.
Chat, I have RLS, all right,
Yeah.
man. I just can't not.
You should see him like when we like hang out and he just wanders around.
My legs are constantly moving.
He just wanders around, and I've had to learn to stop taking it personally.
It's not that I'm...
Because the first few months that we actually hung out in person, it was like, I was always just like, okay,
this guy
dude.
bored
like,
with me?
I was like, all right, man, if you don't want to be here, it's cool. You
And
can go. Like,
nope, I just need my legs to be moving.
It was never quite like that.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, he, it's always that way.
It's just my legs. Sorry, chat. Just be happy they're not bouncing in jorts, all right? You got away with it tonight.
Yeah, I think Sam Girard tonight was definitely a building off of the comment and not what Rudo was saying, obviously. Sam Girard, like we talked about, hey, some of these guys have to be better. And Sam Girard was near the top of that list. We talked about McKinnon, Makar, Girard. Those are some of the guys that, Burakovsky. Those are some of the guys we absolutely were like, hey, we've got to figure this out. We've got to figure this out, right?
Yep.
But Girard especially because defensively, he was making the kinds of mistakes that we're not accustomed to, and he was getting hemmed in his own zone in a way that we're not accustomed to seeing from him. And tonight, it was like vintage Sammy G. This was a confident, hard-skating, puck-moving defenseman who takes care of the business in his own zone. He plays really good defense.
Pucks get going the right direction with him on the ice.
He separates guys from pucks in the way that he does. He's not a physical guy, obviously. But he wins puck battles and he gets it out of there. We saw that from him. We saw the vision. We saw the playmaking. We saw the passing ability. It was well-earned assists. They weren't cheap. They weren't free. It was good work. And this was the kind of night that you needed to see from Sam Girard. Like, this is the night where everybody wants to talk about trading Sam Girard. This is the night that teams trading for him envision.
That's why they want him. Yeah.
That's where his value is, and obviously, like, you look at the Avs, and there's still plenty of value with him in Colorado.
Yep.
That was before Bo Byram got hurt.
And
it was
even more so after.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a real conversation.
It's not. It never really has been.
Yeah, it truly never really has been. Like, if you want to talk about him as part of the Eichel thing,
that's different, though.
We can talk about it in the offseason at some point.
Yeah.
But in terms of any kind of urgency or any like desire to move him. It doesn't exist.
Outside of a wild type of deal where you get an Eichel situation, the type of moves that are big enough to involve a Sam Girard type player just don't happen in season very often.
Yeah. I mean, you think about Seth Jones for Ryan Johansson way back in the day, the 1-for-1, right? That's the kind of thing it would have to be. So,
Yeah.
and unless it's that, we're not having this conversation.
Agreed. I think that one is pretty simple.
It sure hell isn't for Tomas Hertl.
Whoosh, no, I wouldn't give up Sammy for Hertl for sure. Plus, you'd miss out on nut faces if you didn't have Sammy around.
Yo, such a funny. So I asked Rudo to go back and look at a replay.
Yeah,
because I wanted to see. I wanted to see a dude
might
in
have
the
been
crowd.
wearing a DNVR shirt. Yeah.
I thought I saw a DNVR shirt right in the front row and wanted to see. And the replay started with that nut face.
Yep. Open up the clip and it's Girard going.
A good imitation.
That's the best I got.
A good imitation.
Now the entire YouTube. Yeah, there it is.
Ooh. I don't think it's as much a nut face as I do a. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, I don't know what to call it.
Okay.
I don't think it's as much of a nut face.
It's not a nut face. All right. Well,
I don't know.
it's whatever it is. All right, Chant.
Yeah.
It's what it's going to be. Look, going through the rest of the goals tonight, yes, Mikko gets our king of the game, but Logan O'Connor balled out tonight. Not only gets a goal, which, comes off of Girard assist where things kind of go his way, but makes a fantastic pass for his second point of the night to set up an easy goal. And, Avs were running away with the game at that point. But another positive where you take a look at this and you go, if you can get that out of a guy like Logan O'Connor, not even on a consistent basis, but every fourth, fifth game, if you get production like that, you are cruising as the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
So
I think we're seeing right now Logan O'Connor. We're talking about guys that need to step up and score in depth roles and all that. Like, I think he's earning. If their forward core is ever fully healthy, you don't drop him out of your top 9.
Yeah.
Right now. Logan O'Connor has been that guy, and I loved the Jost new hook.
Yeah, the
LOC.
line was great.
They had 1 or 2 shifts where they got stuck in their own zone, which is also where you're going to see some of the numbers for Taze and Makar go down because that was that 5 that got stuck out there once or twice together. But other than that, it was such a good combination, and we saw.
It had that electricity to it, right?
It was not a do-nothing line.
Yep.
Like, we saw, you look at Helm, you look at Megna, you look at Sherwood. That line didn't do anything. Like, Helm scores a shorthanded goal on his second grade A scoring chance of the night.
4-1 already, yeah.
Great example, by the way, of a guy not accustomed to scoring goals.
Yep.
Because on the first one, he's just waiting he's waiting on that backhand.
Yep.
A guy that's accustomed to scoring goals flips around.
Yeah.
And puts himself
Gets
in
it
position.
on the forehand side.
Yeah, because he's left-handed. He turns his body and puts himself in a position to accept the pass.
Yep.
At first intermission, I know the broadcast was talking about how Nazem Kadri presents himself for the new hook goal. How he presents himself
has the stick out,
and on the forehand. And granted, it's a lot easier to do when you're skating forward. You're not in that awkward position like him. But it was a great point, and it was exactly what Helm needed to do on that first 2-on-1. And it was kind of like a good example of here's a guy that's just not accustomed to scoring very much. Did not open it up and did not give the passing the passer an option. On the 2-on-1, and then obviously. LOC makes an insane pass on the second one and Helm
baits the defender all the way over and still gets it through him, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, just a great play by LOC.
Yep.
LOC had a great game. Continues to look great.
He absolutely did. From top to bottom, it's a night that it's going to be hard to find someone who didn't really play well for Colorado.
Jack Johnson had his moments.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. There isn't a lot negative to take away from a game like this.
Yeah, like Megna had a good scoring chance that drew a penalty in the first period.
Yep.
The first penalty of the game, where Jost made that great pass to him in the front.
Yep.
Megna driving the net drew that penalty. Kiefer Sherwood drew the 5-minute made. got hit in the face by Tucker Pullman.
Took one to the face
who
for it, yeah.
was acting like a bad Jordan Binnington and just taking cheap shots.
Woo,
So
got him.
You know, even they ended up like doing something, like producing something. But that line is a great example of a do nothing kind of. Nothing really happens while they're out there. And that new hook led line, absolutely.
Things were happening with that line. Yeah,
it came out with some serious energy.
I mean, let's look. It's been one entire game, but you went 10 games with Sampo and he didn't get a point.
Yeah.
You've gone 6 games with Kaut and he hasn't gotten a point.
Yeah.
Sampo shows up for his second NHL game of the year after the stint down.
New
and
hook.
New Hook shows up for his second game.
Yeah.
After the stint with the Eagles, and he immediately gets a point. He's immediately in the box score.
Yeah.
And immediately showing up, not just in the box score, but with his effort level.
Yeah.
The dude shows up and was a B. He was all over the ice, in people's faces, pushing the play constantly. And you look at that and you go, that's exactly what you want to see from a guy in that position.
Exactly, and something to build off of, right?
Yep.
So we talked about how confidence is such a huge part of these guys' games. You could see Sampo didn't have any left. And Newhook comes back up after a really, really good stint with the Eagles. And I've said, like, don't do it unless you're ready to keep him.
Yep.
Don't make this a 1 or 2 game thing, but...
Well, and you see a game like tonight and you go, okay, it's easy to keep him.
You're right. Tonight is the games where, especially if you're going to get a point out of him, like keeping him makes this really easy for you.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of effort that you need to see. You know, not effort, effectiveness that you really need to see out of him. You need to see him skating up the ice.
Effectiveness is a good word.
You need to see him making plays. You need to see him making passes and creating for line mates. That's going to keep him there. And that changes. I mean, we've talked about this. It just changes who they are if they have a dynamic element when Newhook at center. They have a dynamic element in Nazem Kadri. And then when Nathan McKinnon comes back, you obviously get him too. It changes so much of your forward core.
Here, the conversation we knew would come up after Confer scores a power play goal to make it 7-1, AJ. Do you leave him on the top line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After a 7-1 beating, I'm not changing the lineup.
True enough. Not after this game, because it was dominant top to bottom.
Yeah.
Look, Comfort was fine tonight. Did he do anything particularly special? No. He still...
that goal was cool.
It was cool.
He bats it in. It was neat. It was the 7th goal. You don't really care that much.
It is what it is. Look, at the end of the season, they all count the same, though, right?
Yeah.
Nobody asks how you got those goals.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the end of the year, look, if you can't both ding Comfer for no 5v5 production and then whine that the power play isn't good enough. Because if Comfer's the only guy consistently producing on the power play, like, yeah, I would agree, you have a problem. But you have to take what's there. He's the guy that's producing on that unit so far.
Yep.
You can't complain about both things.
Want to talk more about the power play, but we are brought to you by Strava Craft Coffee, the CBD-infused coffee that has really changed lives. You can get it cold brewed down here at the DNVR bar right now. Or you can order it online at StravaCraftCoffee.com. You get 25% off when you use code DNVR25 for
Lights
your
are really bright.
first order. Don't stare directly into them. Would not recommend. But if you get a migraine from staring into lights, Strava Craft Coffee can help with that. They got you covered. Aches and pains, joint pain. I already mentioned the migraines. They'll help out with that. And they're your daily morning coffee as well. So they got you covered one way or another.
You know what they need? You know what Strava Craft needs?
What do they need?
They need to make a PSO.
This is a public service announcement.
They need a PSO.
All right, do it.
No, the Strava Craft. They need to make a pumpkin spice latte. That's what they need.
I'm for it. This is an idea I should have had at our DNVR scramble. I played with the Strava people.
Yeah, why didn't you suggest a PSO?
Because
option?
I'm not a basic bitch.
Okay, well, why aren't you? What's wrong with being a bit? Look, basic bitches run the world. They're the ones who spend the money. You think Amazon got big off of non-basic bitches?
True. It's true. In any case, get yourself some Strava. Also, check out Snooze Sleep, one of our new local sponsors, started right here in Colorado. They have their 4-in-1 mattress. They have firm, they have soft, they have warm, they have cool. Whether you want firm or soft, you flip the mattress. Whether you want warm or cool, you flip the cover. They have a zip-on cover that covers it. One side is 5 degrees cooler than the other. So however you sleep, they got you covered. I guess that works. I don't know. I don't know how well that works. Anyway, check out Snooze Sleep. Their mattresses are great. We have multiple people here at DNVR have either already gotten them or ordered them. I know AJ has one on the way.
Yeah.
So
I wish I knew when it was getting
he'll get you a direct review when it gets there. Is it a queen?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think I can get a king down my stairs.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be tough to fit for sure. But anyway, check out Snooze Sleep. Get their amazing mattresses with their 4-in-1 styling. Look, sleep is important, as it turns out.
True facts.
While AJ and I may go to sleep at 5, 6 in the morning on the reg, it's because we get good sleep. All right? You got to get it in while you can. Power nap it out. So... Look, all right, look.
True, you got to get it in while you can. Just good life advice.
Donskoy regularly went 20-plus games not scoring a goal for the Avs.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are surprised by that.
I've already had multiple Seattle conversations where I'm like, guys, he'll be fine.
This is normal for him.
Yeah, just wait.
So, look, there's nothing wrong with being basic. I'm just not basic when it comes to pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah.
There are things I'm absolutely basic about.
I'm like, God, I'm so basic. It fucking hurts. Like, I don't want anything on a hot dog. I like my favorite kind of pizza these days is cheese.
Just plain cheese.
Yeah, you see how I eat hamburgers. It's got cheese and that's it.
That's if you haven't, like, dissected it in the first place to eat one thing at a time.
Yeah, so I pull everything apart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's also a thing that happened. I went to Cherry Cricket yesterday and just pulled it apart, man. Just
each bit one at a time.
Just little pieces of burger everywhere.
You got all sorts of stuff all over your plate that you're picking off.
So I didn't put any real topping. I just put cheese on it.
All right.
I didn't go my usual peanut butter and jelly route.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. I didn't want it to be messy because I was going to pull it apart.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
Nah.
That puts you ahead of the crowd, I guess.
I tell you, I plan ahead.
No, you got something going for you.
That's what I have going for me, yes.
Look, let's be real here. The Avs win tonight 7-1. It's great. Yeah. There's a ton of positives you can take from it.
We've talked about this a lot. It's hard to talk about blowout wins and losses because it's just so good or so bad that it's like, we're not going to sit here and be like, everything is fixed. They're going to dominate in 2 days.
It's outside the realm of norms.
Yeah, it's like it's like if they had this been like a regular like 3-1, we'd be like, look,
feeling
they
good
got
about
up in
it.
a game.
Yeah.
They locked it down at the end. They closed the door. They had a good third period in a close game. They, whatever, or not. Instead, it was just like, well, they just kept on scoring goals.
So this is a feel-good game. It's a game where you can push yourself in the right direction. But
and it's the kind of game that gets coach fired. Like, you're gonna
on Green's side.
We could wake up on Sunday morning and Travis Green is fired, and part of it is because what happened in Denver. Because when they came to Denver,
they got BTFO'd.
Yeah, to take on a Nathan McKinnon-less team and lose 7-1.
Yeah,
in which you were never competitive. There wasn't a single portion of tonight's game
where it felt like Vancouver was in the game.
Yeah, where they were meaningfully competitive. The first time that you started to think, well, they are finally starting to get their legs. They're starting to get into it. They were already up 3-0. Like, so this was never a meaningfully competitive game. That's a credit to the Avs, and it's a knock against Vancouver. They just never got back into it.
There's always two teams on the ice,
They never showed any
right?
life.
Yep.
But also, the Avs did a great job. They just
suffocated that team.
They just shelled these dudes.
Yep.
And that was it. And that's great. But now the hard part is carrying forward this momentum. They stopped the negativity. All right, last week could just be last week. This week is this week. I always compare the Avs to life in general because things are just not that complicated.
Yep.
You get to choose how you handle adversity. You can either buck up and go get it, or you can feel sorry for yourself and stay a loser forever. Tonight, on this night, they bucked up and they force-fed the actual losers a handful of goals.
And I think the point you're trying to make here is there is still a level of mental toughness that's required here, right?
Definitely.
It's easy to be high on yourself when you blow a team out.
Yeah.
But you get into your next game, and it's 0-0 late in the first. You haven't raced out to a 3-0 lead.
Right. We want to see how they play when they're in a situation where they're not just vibing.
Yeah.
You're not just cruising around like, all right, well, this game's over. We shelled these dudes, and we're just running over this.
Right.
We're a
the
train
rest of
right
the
now.
game is shooting gallery.
Yeah,
or
you want to
do
see
whatever
what
you
happens
want.
in tight situations. You want to see they get down 1-0. How do they respond? They get down 2-0. How do they respond?
Yep.
They get up 1-0 and now they're losing 2-1. How do they respond? When they get legitimate pushback, they didn't face any of that tonight. The
Very
Canucks
true.
rolled in and gave them the Matador 2 points. The Avs got near them and they just went, ole, and then kept on their way.
Yep.
That was it. The Avs were the bull, man. Like, that was it. It was a free 2 points tonight.
It was.
It was a free 2 points. They got 0 resistance. So they need to, before we start making any kind of proclamations about they've figured it out, they've turned it around, they've grown up, they've matured, they've kind of found an identity, any of that bullshit, any of the stuff that we've talked about them having problems with, none of this negates any of those problems. You need to see how they handle adversity the next time, because tonight was totally meaningless in that regard. It was great. They built confidence. They smoked a bad team. They treated a bad team the way they should treat all bad teams. This is kind of what their schedule looks like the rest of the month. They should do this to a bunch of teams. But it was 7-1, it won't be to that level. But to beat a team down like this, they should be doing this. They're definitely still good enough to do that to teams.
This game was a proof of concept, right? This game was a reminder that, hey, this team is absolutely capable of dunking on bad teams and can be a cup contender.
And your defense
Is elite.
tip top as I yawn my way through this.
But at the end of the day, one game is one game. It doesn't matter if you win it 7-1 or you win it 4-3 or you lose it 7-1. You can win one game by the biggest margin in history, and it's still worth 2 points.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's 2 points tonight.
Yep. So
They're 5-5-1.
the proving ground is far from over for Colorado.
Things aren't fixed,
Yeah.
but it was a great night, and hey, we're having a good time. We're chilling. This is an
No
easy
doubt
night,
about it.
right?
No doubt about
whatever.
it.
But this is one game. You need to see this carry over.
Yep.
You need to see it carry over into 2 nights from now, and then because you have a San Jose team that's getting all of its guys back.
Yep.
Its whole COVID roster and them playing a whole bunch of the Barracuda, that's done now. The Sharks will be in town. So, you going to take advantage of them being rusty and having not played? Are they going to be well rested? Which angle do you take? It depends on how well they play. But they need to carry this over. They need to, into practice tomorrow. No matter what happens with Byram and whatever goes on
You
there.
deal with that as it comes.
Exactly. You're dealing with the McKinnon thing. You just won 7-1 without Nathan McKinnon. 3 weeks without him, probably in the range of 10 games, somewhere in there. That's kind of the rough benchmark we're all using right now, 10 games. You're 1-0.
Yep. Now make it 2-0.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you got to build.
What's
Great. You can win a game. We already knew that. And it was great that they did it. Now it's time to build.
What's the last chance you, the first season on last chance you, the thing they say? It's go 1-0 every night.
Sure.
Yesterday doesn't matter. Tomorrow doesn't matter.
I haven't seen it in a long time. But
Highly recommend.
it's a great philosophy, man. You control what you can. Control what's in front of you.
Yep.
Control what you've got right now. Tomorrow is tomorrow's problem. That's all good and well. Tonight, you celebrate the win. You're happy about the win. You feel good. They've earned the freedom to go out and enjoy the night.
Yep.
And then tomorrow it's back at work.
Yep.
Tonight doesn't matter anymore. Soon as that clock switches over to the next day, tonight doesn't matter anymore. You got to get back to work.
Yep. Amen to that. That's the life of a pro athlete, especially one that wants to be successful.
Yeah. In a long season sport that has 82 games.
Yep.
You just got to get back to work. So tonight ruled. It was a lot of fun. It was easy for us. We made money. We had a good time.
Did we?
Made jokes. Got to reference Tyrone Biggums on Twitter.
Hey, always a win.
Yeah.
It's a great night.
Yeah,
and,
it's a fun night. Got to build.
And you take that night, you take the confidence from it, but you put the rest of that night in its box, and then it's yesterday. And yesterday don't mean shit today.
Yeah.
So, simple as that. I think we're going to wrap it up there, AJ, unless you got final thoughts here.
No bathrobes.
No bathrobes.
That's not happening. I tell you what, you guys have to stop hitting me up like I can make bathrobes.
You got to hit up
happen.
Eric and Blaze for that.
You got to hit up Brandon especially
too,
as the one who's going to
He's the one you got to convince.
Yeah.
So
I could be all about bathrobes and be like, I love this idea, but I'm an irrelevant voice in this one.
All right.
Now, I tell you what, bathrobes for the yacht party.
That's a different story.
Or if we got DNVR slippies.
All right, look. If y'all fund the yacht will come, every room will come with a bathrobe and slippies in it, all right?
I really want some DNVR slippies now. I'm going to get some custom made, sorry.
All right. Slippies or Gucci slides, though?
Slippies.
All right. Just checking.
Fuck Gucci.
I'm with you, but you know what? Naz was into the Gucci slides.
I know. I want slippies.
All right. I hope you all recommend DNVR slippies to all of your friends. We are out of here for the night. An easy one for the Avs. Go enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back tomorrow with something fun, and then post game on Saturday.
Should we shop tomorrow? It's been forever.
I was thinking we should shop.
It's been so long since we've shopped. We should shop tomorrow. I think we're gonna shop.
I think it's eBay, Avalanche eBay tomorrow.
Yeah,
so.
it's eBay o'clock, baby. We're gonna shop tomorrow.
Tune into that one. Hope
maybe
to
we'll
see
find
you all
some.
there.
We'll find some slippies.
We made money tonight, so maybe we gotta put our money where our mouth is on eBay.
Yes. Probably Blaze will just buy that shit again.
Yeah, true.
We've had Evan buy the tracksuit and Blaze bought the chain.
Yeah.
Cale bought the jacket.
Cale bought the jacket too. That's true.
I tell you what, our eBay has cost our company money.
Definitely cost us money.
Although, I mean, that's how you spend your money is up to you.
True enough. Enjoy your night. We hope y'all had as much fun as we did tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, we will talk to you all next time.